Welcome to Perfection is Fake Podcast.
And this week, our guest member is
Jose Rubio.
Alrighty, Jose.
Welcome to the podcast.
So yeah, Jose, you are aware that this month's topic is family support.
Yeah.
So, in your life, is family support, is it there, is it bad, is it good, how is it like?
Well, I feel like it's in between because I do get some family support, but it's not all the time.
I got you. So, when you mean like in between, is there like specific family members that do more or specific family that do less, or?
Well, my aunt and uncle, along with my cousins, they are always there to support me, like whenever I need it. Since I've been very close with them for a very long time, so I feel like I can talk with them about whatever is happening in my life, and they're always there to listen to me and help me out if I ever have any troubles.
That's good.
Yes. So what's like an example of like family support that's happened in your life?
Well, there was this one time. Well, my parents were out of town, so I didn't really have anyone to be with. I was by myself, and my cousins rode their bikes all the way to my house and just hanged out with me for a few hours. We were talking and we were watching the show and eating. I don't remember, popcorn, I think.
I remember one time I got grounded because I snuck into my cousin's car, and then I stayed the night over there. They grounded me. It was the only time I've ever been grounded. I got grounded for 2 weeks.
That worked for you? Never worked for me. I tried it. Never worked.
Yeah, it was my cousins. Yeah, it worked out.
Family.
Yeah, it was fun. It was funny.
It's
funny to think back on.
Yeah. My cousins would try that, never worked out.
Never worked out.
No, never.
It's okay, everything works out for you.
Okay, sorry. What kind of made you realize like family support is something you wanted to talk about coming on the podcast?
As the name of the podcast, Perfection is Fake. Like, even though I have support from my cousins and my aunts, what's supposed to be my closer family, like my mom and my dad and my siblings, they're not always there for me. Like, sure, my sister is with me, but she works and she almost never has time to hang out with me. And my mom isn't currently here, and my dad works a lot to be able to like support both my family over here and my mom and my little brother who are out of state right now.
Are you the oldest?
I'm the middle child.
The middle child.
Yeah.
And do you have a job?
Yeah, I have a job.
Ooh, so you're basically also the family support as well, correct?
Yeah, I try to help out my family with whatever I can. Like, I sometimes buy groceries, or I ask them out. Like, I ask them if they want to go out to eat or something.
Oh, that's great. That's good.
Oh, so you're basically also that family support model.
Yeah.
Is like the family support stationed at your home, is it like necessarily toxic or healthy? Bit of both?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. Like, my dad, he tries to support me in what I do, but he has to practically act as my mom and my dad since my mom isn't here at the moment. So it's hard for him to be able to support me, like, throughout these years. It's been 6 years since my mom hasn't been here, so...
My condolences.
Yeah, so my dad has to, try and learn how to, take care of two teenagers at the same time.
I know.
Especially
teenagers.
As a practically single dad, and still try to, keep in contact with my youngest brother, who is at the moment 7 years old.
Oh, wow.
So he wants to my mom and dad are still together, but since my mom lives she lives in Mexico actually with my little brother.
Oh.
So my dad still wants to contact,
I said my condolences. I thought she was no longer with us.
No.
That's
I need to specify.
That is, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I need to specify.
I was wondering because when I said that, Juan went, I was gonna tell her.
Yeah, I thought you knew, so I was like, okay, yeah. I wasn't gonna say that.
Oh.
So I like that you're talking about your parents and your siblings, and I mean personally, there's a really big difference between what I tell my parents and what I tell what I'm comfortable with telling my brothers and sisters. So you experienced that?
A lot more lately than I have in any other times. My dad's tried to talk to me, but been a very long time since I've actually hanged out with my dad like that. So he doesn't know what to talk to me about, and I don't feel that comfortable talking to him about everything. So he tries to ask me, but I mostly always cut the conversation short because I don't know what to tell him.
Is he one of those like?
It's understandable.
Is he one of those like traditionals that like se enojan, like gets upset when you like tell them something truthfully, and they're like, "But you need to talk to me more," kind of thing.
They always ask me for the truth, but I like every time I tell them the truth, they get mad.
You're like, mentira, a lie is easier. Yeah.
Yeah.
Aw. So what is it like? What is it like having to talk to your siblings now that like they're completely? I'm assuming. Well, how old is the oldest?
Well, my sister's the oldest. She's 2 years older than me, so.
Okay, so it's like a huge gap, but there's still that gap, correct?
Yeah.
And she's off in college, I'm assuming.
Well, she hasn't started college yet. She starts until the next semester, but she mostly spends her time working to be able to pay off her college.
Gotcha.
So it's like, does she take care of you, check up on you, or like, what does that look like, your relationship?
Well, yeah, me and my sister do hang out sometimes. Lately, we've been trying to hang out more since we rarely ever see each other. Since, well, I went to visit my family in Mexico for like all summer, and
Where
since she
you
was
from?
already
Guanajuato.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like-
okay. Shout out to the Guanajuatos watching this. Huh?
Oh gosh. Oh, I'll leave you there.
You never know.
Yeah,
you
cut
never
that out.
Was there ever a moment in which you had to like, because you came to like the self-realization that I'm that like family figure to like my brothers and sisters that like they can lean on and they can talk to? That happened?
Well, no, not really. I sometimes don't recognize what I do. I just do it unconsciously. So,
Gotcha.
yeah, I just put in my part and feel like that's what I'm supposed to do. So I don't feel like it's something I should get a prize for or recognize myself for.
Oh, that's good.
Sweet.
Do you ever get like, and truthfully, right? Because this stays, well, kind of, but stays within us, right? Do you ever get like tired of having to be that figure? Does it ever get exhausting?
It does. Like, I sometimes do it, but sometimes I'm just like so tired. I just can't do it, and I just go to sleep for. And like I work, well, I go to school, then work, and then I go straight to sleep. And like sometimes I don't talk to like my sister or my dad like for days on end. And well, after that, I realized I haven't talked to them, so I try to like, well, yeah, talk to them. So, well, at least stay in
Break the
communication.
barrier, yeah. Do y'all like, you know how like some households have like family traditions, like on Thanksgiving, like you go eat at this specific restaurant. Do you have that with your family?
Well, for my birthday, I chose the place. It's a place where they sell seafood. Every year since like the past 5 years, I've been going with my dad and my sister to go eat seafood there for my birthday, because I don't like parties that much, and like everyone in my friends always like, "What'd you do for your birthday?" So I came up with the solution of going to a seafood restaurant. This is my favorite food.
What restaurant is it?
It's like in downtown. I'm not really sure
Oh,
what the
really?
name is. Yeah, it's like DJ Marisco, something like that.
DJ DJ. I think I've seen DJ somewhere. I don't know the last part though.
Yeah, it's like small place.
Downtown?
Yeah.
I don't really
I'm
go
there all the
downtown, so
time.
I don't know. You really seem to like downtown, Maddie.
It's like right where I live,
Yeah.
guys. I go to the Foundry. I go to other places, but I don't go. I go on my own kind of thing because my family's not gonna go downtown. But I know that there's some families who like, you know, hold traditions, do something cute, like. Yeah, like some families do cute traditions, and that could have been something that, like, I don't know, keeps you going when it comes to family support. Because you know when there's like a rough, like for an example, there's a death in the family, and there's like that dark patch where everyone's sad, no one's talking. Because that's how it was with my grandma for a moment when her mother passed. It was like a quiet, pretty like, didn't want to go out, didn't want to go to quinceañeras, didn't want to go to birthday parties, didn't want to go to weddings, didn't want to do anything, ¿verdad? And then she, the cycle broke when I think it was her birthday. Her birthday came to be, and she didn't want to go out, but they were like, "Come on!" Like we took her to Golden Corral. It's Golden Corral, is that what it is? No, somewhere else. It's like those buffet places.
China King?
Buffet.
No, but it's like steak. There's like
China
a
King?
line you go in. No,
Steakhouse?
is it steakhouse?
There's one that's called Steakhouse.
It's probably
It's a buffet.
steakhouse.
I I've never been there.
It's like there's like this certain elote that always apparently reminds her of like Mexico. There's like a tipo elote that they have there. But it reminds her of like, I guess we took her there for like her birthday, and then that's where it kind of changed. She started going to birthday parties. She's like, I'll try it, I'll go. So it's like one of those like traditions that we go on buffets for her birthday. Buffets. I think
It's a buffet.
Buffet. My bad, I'm saying it in Spanish, but buffet. Oh, your voice, you. So yeah, any other, or what kind of Irving?
Has being the family support made you more independent?
Well,
Because I know it is like that in some households. Like you're the family support. Like,
well, yeah, I learned how to do a lot of stuff by myself. Like,
Cocinar?
yeah, I know how to cook.
Oh.
Like, don't ask me to make rice, because after 2 years of trying, I've never been able to make rice the right way.
No, me and two of my friends, we tried at my house.
you've tried.
It was mushy.
What
It
do
was
y'all
dry.
mean?
I have no idea what it was.
How is it mushy?
Don't worry, I did it. That's exactly how mine
No,
was.
Really?
like you touch it and it's like all the water from your fingers gone.
When I tried
That thing sucked the life out of you.
and then just
use
stick.
Just use a rice cooker.
But at that point, we let it cook and we let it like become crunchy and we just ate it like that. And it was good though.
Crunchy
He like flipped it out of the pan and just sucked out. So like he chipped it like a chip basically.
Yeah,
So-
I never eat
and
it.
they were like, okay. And we were like, no.
Y'all eat rice like that.
Listen,
I look at a rice and
listen. We were trying to cook. We were trying to cook.
No, you're trying to cook.
They cooked a little too hard.
It's like I'm trying.
Anyway, pasta was good though.
Okay.
But you learned to cook.
Yeah, like I've known how to cook for a while now. Still, don't ask me to make rice, but I know how to make a lot of other stuff.
Mole.
Yeah, I know how to make that, and
Stop.
Okay.
yeah. So I mainly cook food for myself and for my dad in case he gets home and doesn't eat something, or for my sister because, well, she knows how to cook, but she doesn't want to cook.
She's not a cooker. Yeah.
Yeah, she always gets home and like tells me I'm not hungry. I make food, and she eats the food.
Oh.
That's
How,
sweet.
how does that like make you feel like whenever you start thinking like, oh, like, you know, my dad or my mom didn't teach me how to cook, I had to learn how to cook myself, like, does that ever like have a toll on you or something?
It kind of does, since it kind of like bad memories. Like I don't like to think about it, but when I do, it does make me feel a little sad, since I'm like,
Yeah.
well, neither my mom or dad were there to be able to like teach me how to do that.
Yeah.
And you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but does it ever make you feel bitter towards either one of your parents?
I was about to ask that.
Yeah, do you ever have bad feelings towards them?
Yeah, I kind of do. Mainly, like, no offense to my dad, but like, yeah, to my dad a lot, since he's the only one who's in our house. So, he never like made that much of an effort to actually teach me how to do things, and he focused more on trying to like more on my little brother and on my mom instead of me and my sister. So it made me like a lot more bitter towards my dad. And in more recent times, I've been trying to like mend that relationship with him, but it's kind of hard, and I've made very little progress on that.
It's always the middle child.
I
I don't know if y'all know, like the middle child's
I
like.
can kind of relate to that too, because my dad, he taught my brother like everything he knows about cars and like fixing them and stuff, and like my sister a bunch of stuff too, and not me. Yeah, I've learned most of the stuff I know from my brother, but yeah.
And you're the middle child too? Or
No.
youngest?
Oh, it's youngest.
You're the youngest?
Mhm.
Oh, so it's basically just different. See, like, but have you like put in the effort to like talk to your father?
Yeah, but because my dad's like, he's kind of this. Like, you know when a parent's physically there, but they're like
Yeah.
this,
Emotionally, they're just like
they're
in some
just
other
absent.
planet. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would like, since you do have that bitter feeling, would you say you work more towards trying to understand him, or you just like you're so closed off at this point you want to give up?
I want to say the first one, but I know that like deep down, I just want to like get over that and like just move on from that, like not try to fix it anymore, since it's pretty hard to fix something that's hasn't been there for a long time. So yeah, like with like my mom, I have a pretty good relationship with her, but I only see her a few times a year. And well, every time I see like my dad hanging out with like my little brother, and well, my cousins, surprisingly he's taken my cousins and my little brother like out to do stuff with him more than me when I was younger. So it does make me feel like a lot more bitter. It makes me not want to like mend that relationship with him anymore.
And correct me if I'm wrong, you're a junior, right?
Yeah.
So like, how do you feel like going into your senior year? How do you think your family support will change? Do you think he'll like come to recognize you're about to leave the house and become closer?
Well, my dad thinks I want to stay at home, or feels I'm gonna stay at home, so he's not really trying to change anything. He just thinks I'm going to like stay in college here in Tyler.
Yeah, that's big.
That's gonna be. Imagine telling him like, by the way, I got into so and so, and I'm gonna leave.
I'm 12 hours away.
I'm 12 hours away. It's
Yeah,
gonna
how
be
do
a
you
big
think
change.
he'll react to that if you do like end up leaving and going somewhere far?
Well, from the few interactions I've had with him about going to college out of town, he does not sound happy about it. Like my sister, she goes to college here, but she's gonna go to college here.
TJC?
No, UT Tyler. And well, yeah. So when I mentioned it once to my dad about going out of state, he said it'd be a waste of time and money. But I generally feel like it made me build better relationship with other people. So like I did want to go out of town for my college and university years.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and that's probably one of the biggest parts of family support. Like, whenever you set your eyes on like having a goal, and then your dad or your family, they're like, no, don't do that.
Having to go against them
Yeah.
when when it feels like they've been going against you your whole life, it just it's like you're turning the table. You know what I mean? And it's kind of hard because it's like, overall, you don't want your parents to feel hurt. Like, yeah, you may feel bitterness, but towards the end of the day, they're still your family, and I'm assuming you have that kind of sentiment. Where it's like, I don't want to hurt my dad, but in the end, if I want what's best for me, I have to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you think about your sibling, though? Like, going off to college, like...
My sister, well, she's gonna go to college here, so it's not gonna be that bad, but still, like, if she were to go out of town, I would feel pretty sad, because, like, she's my closest family member. I tell her everything, and, like, most people, I'll tell them parts of what's happening in my life. My sister, I trust her fully with everything, and like, if she were to leave, I wouldn't be able to like talk to anyone.
You'd be closed off.
Yeah.
What about your 7-year-old brother?
Oh, he's in Mexico, so I don't. Well.
Talk to him.
Yeah, we get along, but it's a 16-year-old and a 7-year-old.
So it's like, what much can you do?
Yeah, there's not that much. I sometimes take him out to get ice cream in Mexico, since like, I go out with him to the city, since we live right outside the city. I go out with him to the city and like try to hang out with my little brother. Like,
oh, that's great.
Yeah, to like, yeah, so like he doesn't feel any kind of resentment towards me about never hanging out with him or playing with him.
That's good. So you kind of like you understand.
Yeah,
you learn.
Yeah, I didn't want to have like a similar relationship with him that my dad and me have.
That's mature. That's actually really mature.
And I think, like, even though you're going through an unfortunate situation, I think either way you're going to learn from it a lot, and it'll help you in the long run.
It would.
Well, yeah, I feel like, honestly, that's helped me build up to who I am right now. Because I've gone through a lot of rough patches during these 6 years, but it's helped me build up to who I am. Like, I used to not be outgoing at all. I didn't like talking to people, and like, now I'm in a podcast, so.
Really? Now I think I first met you through Marlene.
Yeah, I used to meet people through my cousins and, well, other friends. I used to only talk to like 2 people in total when I first got into high school. And then like, I feel like I was by myself most of the time. But my cousins helped me introduce me to other people, and I became friends with a lot more people after that.
I see now in the hallways, people will be like, "Oh, Jose," like they'll say hi to you, and that's good. It does. Yeah. It's a good change. Not all change is bad, you know.
Yeah.
So, how does it like? Has there ever been a moment in which you've been like, oh, I really need to like talk to my mom I need to talk to my mom about this, or I need to talk to my little brother about this, and you've like really felt like the true distance between where you are now and where your family is in Mexico?
Yeah, cause well, there was this one situation where actually I was graduating middle school, and well, my dad didn't go because he was working that day, and well, the only people who were there were my aunt and uncle, because my cousin was also graduating, since we've been going to the same school for years now, and well, I wanted to like show them the certificate and the other things I got since I graduated with pre-AP classes and a lot of other stuff and got into early college. And well, I did feel the distance. I was like, well, I can't show my dad since he's at work, and well, my mom isn't here with me. Like, sure, I could send her a picture, but like,
It's not the same.
feel.
yeah, it's not the same thing as seeing their like live reaction, like in like real life.
Yeah.
It makes me so sad.
I will say, growing up in middle school, I did theater, and so we would do one act plays, and we would go into competition, and we would pretty much just like practice or have our like one act plays after school, and I'd always be like inviting them. Soccer as well. I played outdoor, and I was on teams for my middle school. And so I was like, you should come and see me. Like everyone's moms and their grandmas are pulling up to the game, you know. Like I'd really like it because my mom's not in the picture, right? But I would always tell my dad, I was like, I'd really like it if you'd show up, if you could come. I don't think he ever been to any of them, any of the one act plays, any of the soccer games, any of the volleyball games. He was never at any of them, and like. You know, it's that instance where it's like you want them to be there because it's not the same as showing them a picture of like, oh, look, I was on stage. You know, because then they're like, cool, you know. But you just want someone to be like, Mija or Mijo, I'm proud of you. You know, like you did that. You actually did that. And there's also like the bigger image, I guess, quinceañera. My dad also missed out on that. Like he was supposed to dance, like father-daughter traditional dance, and he missed out on that. He didn't show up. So it's like one of those things where it sucks having to get used to something that's so constant. You just want to change, but the part that's like even harder is getting comfortable with knowing that there possibly isn't going to be a change. But that shouldn't make you bitter, because like if you think about it, if you hate someone, like, or if you feel a certain amount of feelings towards someone, you in the end you're the only one suffering, not them, because it's an internal conflict that you have with external people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the thing, you shouldn't be bitter. And you're doing really good. You trying to keep a relationship with your 7-year-old brother, that's amazing, because other people would probably shut him off or like feel some type of like certain way towards your siblings because you're getting more attention. Like Juan said, like he could be like his siblings, not like, no, screw you for like not, I don't know, like taking me out to da-da-da-da. Instead he can like be talking with his siblings and, you know, getting a relationship with them.
Yeah, well, originally I did feel like that because one time my dad went to visit my mom and my little brother, and I had a soccer game that week, but he left. I told him about the soccer game like 2 weeks prior to that because he had not gone to any of them and it was the last one, so I wanted him to go to that one at the very least. And like he went to Mexico because my little brother got he got a bit sick, so my dad went to visit.
Sick.
Yeah, so like he was having headaches and didn't go to school. So I was like, well, it's my last game, and he still left, and I didn't have anyone at the game, and I felt like really bitter towards my little brother, since, well, for a small headache, my dad left and never went to any of my games. So
it's like they always make an excuse, you know. It's like, oh, pero esto y esto, and it's like, but what about me, you know?
yeah.
Like make an excuse to come see me.
Guys, so I had the same problem that Maddie had. I played orchestra all 4 years. I played orchestra for 4 years, and my dad never showed up to one performance. And when I got accepted into early college, I knew it was going to be my last performance, and I invited him, and he never showed. It's like so sad, because it's like you expect them to show up, but they don't. And whether he was in town, he wasn't. He was out. He just.
It hurts because, or like growing up when I was like, when it comes, that's why I say, and I've mentioned it before in the podcast, like family support is honestly my weakest thing on the wheel. Like I don't think it comes close to anything, second weakest to one of them, because family support for me has been a little tough growing up, because my mom, when I was little, she wasn't in the picture, and I understood that, you know. for the longest time I felt bitter because I was like, there's so many parents who are like, I don't know how you could do that to a child. Like, how can you not love them? Like, you have them, why not love them? But I always try to understand my mom, like, no, like, she was busy, or no, she was a druggie, or no, this. You know, like, I try to, like, give excuses for them because you don't want to think the worst. Yeah. And then I was like, oh, I have my dad in my life. That should be good. And it was, like, that constant of, I don't know, they just make you feel like you're not important, or taking the time out of the day just isn't worth it. How do you say, like, that constant?
An inconvenience.
An inconvenience, yeah. It's that, it's like not, when it doesn't go anywhere, it gets kind of tiring because you're just like, well, like, sorry for bothering, you know? And the quinceañera was kind of like my last straw because Daniel was actually one of my chambelanes at my quinceañera, so he kind of saw, he kind of saw what that meant to me. Because, I mean, with a whole crowd of people and, like, everyone watching me and they played this dance, I was, like, looking everywhere for him because I was like, you know, he's probably in the restroom, he's probably here. And he wasn't. And, yeah, that did hurt. But, like, in that moment, I kind of realized, you know, he's probably not going to... He might not even show up to my wedding, guys. And I just have to be okay with that. He might not even be there for stuff, important stuff like that. Or the first time when, like, I announced, like a family member, or, like, if I were to, like... have a baby, like, I feel like it's like life stones in your life. He's not gonna be there, so getting used to that is honestly sucks. But it also makes me know, like, my partner better be the best, like, father to my child. You know what I mean? Because it's like now you kind of know what you want in someone. And so, in that moment, I actually have a picture too that my photographer actually captured. My main chambelán came up to hug me, and he was like, "It's fine," because like my dad didn't show up, right? So I was on the dance floor alone. And all of my chambelanes and my damas, they all came up and they got around, a circle around me and, like, hugged me. And so in the picture, I'm just, like, bawling my eyes out, and they're, like, holding me, you know? And so it's like one of those, like, that's why I say I have that quote, like, my friends are my family, because I didn't have my dad, but I had, like, 6, 7, like 12 people hovered around me. And it was cute because, like, all the damas were, like, around me, and the chambelanes were, like, crying too because they were like, man. And so you saw these big old macho men, like, trying to, like, wipe down tears. And then the damas were crying with me, like, trying to make sure my makeup wasn't ruined. So it's like one of those, like, you know, you have to understand, family doesn't have to be blood. That's one thing. Family does. Dom Torello, what was that thing?
Dominic Toretto.
Something like that. Something like that, right? Like
Dom Toronto.
Dom Toronto. The Family Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He stepped up.
He stepped up, and, like, it's not blood, right? So, like, once you pass that stone where family does not have to be blood, like, family, that's also why, like, people who know me. I'm like a Stitch fan, where it's like Ohana means family. Family's not, you know, not left behind or forgotten. So it's like the concept of, like, Stitch and Lilo are obviously not related. That's an alien and a Hawaiian girl. Like, they're not related, but they have the strongest bond ever. And, like, he considers her family, and she vice versa, right? So it's that thing of, like, again, family could be literally anybody who's just there for you. So, like you said.
That reminds me, the quinceañera reminds me of on a funny note, that whenever I was getting picked up, my dad got pulled over right in front of the place, and it was funny because he called me, he was laughing. I got pulled over right in front of the place.
Oh yeah, because I remember, because I think
you
got pulled over.
For me, I think ever since my parents got divorced, I kind of distanced myself from my family because it was like really complicated, and it felt like they put a lot of weight on us. Like when it came to communicating between the two, my parents, it got really complicated, and so I ended up going with my mom, and that's why I'm close to my mom, because I stayed with my mom, and for a while it was rough. We switched from 1, 2, 3 houses with my mom, and I have 6 siblings. Mm-hmm. So most of us went with my mom. Only one stayed with my dad. And I kind of distanced myself from my dad, and I was close to my mom, but I kind of taught myself everything, because I feel like it was harder. I didn't want to bring anything on my parents, and so, like, that's why I got a job. I didn't want them to worry about me.
It's like the golden child.
Yeah, like the golden child. They don't worry about me. They know that I know what I'm doing.
He took what he went through to, like, strive in the best way possible.
Yeah, I feel you there.
Yeah, but no, for a little while though, I was a little rough, but it took until like freshman year for me to like start actually getting my life together, and then my mom moved. She moved over the summer, and so I've been with my dad. So I've been getting close to my dad.
Change. You've been ready to just change.
Yeah, but still, I kind of just do a lot of things on my own. Yeah, because my family is like when you see me and then you see my family, I'm like a lot different from my family. Like today they're going to the pool and then going to eat, but I have studying, I have school to do. It's like I'm like so different from my family.
Yeah. So you say you're closer with your mom, or you were. How is your relationship with your dad? If you don't mind me asking.
It's not bad. Like I feel like I can be more honest with my dad now than before, but I do. He does. I respect him to a certain extent, but there's certain things that I just like.
You bump heads.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like there are some things where I don't agree with him, but I mean, like I have my own morals, and there's some things that he has, and we just don't get along.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like that with my dad since, well, me and my sister are the first ones in our families to like actually graduate, like get into high school and graduate. My mom never finished high school, and my dad, well, he didn't even finish middle school, so
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
so like he came over here to work. He got a little too cocky and thought he could survive with no degrees, so he came to work over here at 13. And well, yeah, like maybe he tells me that he feels like I'm gonna end up like him, but because he feels that I have the same mindset as him, he constantly tells me, as of recently mostly, he tells me that I feel that he thinks I'm too cocky with everything I do, that I always have to be right, that I always say that I have to be right, and that I'm like very much cocky, and well, I try to not be cocky in front of people, and I try to like be more humble. But like every time my dad tells me something like that, I feel like I'm doing the same thing he did when he was younger, and well, I'm trying to change that. I'm trying to like get into college and all of that. So
And he's just projecting on you.
yeah.
Yeah, and that sucks. It sucks when a parent does that to you. It's like they push, not an insecurity or just like something they do or like something they did. They push it onto you.
It's like they're so scared
Why are you
they end up
punishing me?
ruining it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's gonna feel so good to prove him wrong.
Oh yes.
Listen, being petty is not a good thing.
Sometimes being petty on purpose, he's just
It's
might
accidental.
take
Like,
it that way.
yeah, right. Like imagine being
She knows a lot,
like
man.
a doctor, for instance, and then them being sick and be like, oh, who are you taking advice from now? Like
Right. When you don't listen to me,
go put a Kobe on.
Just put some ice on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Bapuru, huh? Sorry.
yeah. Well, that's like with me and my dad. I always try to prove him wrong, but well, recently something happened that I shouldn't have done, and I did it because my dad was at home and my sister was working. I took the car and I crashed.
Wow.
So-
No, yeah,
Yeah.
that'll do it. Mhm.
Yeah. So they used to tell me that
Think you went petty
they
the year?
didn't trust me because of my sister. Because well, when she was in high school, she also didn't do like a lot of good stuff to say. So they told me since I even entered high school that they weren't gonna trust me, and they didn't trust me. And well, that made me feel like, why should I give them a reason to trust me now if they already don't trust me? So that was my mindset when I took the car, because I was like, why should I try to make them trust me if they already don't?
I see what you mean. It's like
Yeah.
you already like
There's
defined
nothing to
my
lose.
life.
Yeah,
there's nothing to
I
lose.
wasn't gonna lose anything, so
It's like you already defined me. You might as well just stick to it.
yeah.
So going off what you were saying about like your dad, like not exactly being proud of your achievements and like trying to push on what he was doing, like has there ever been a moment where like you really wanted to go out of your way and change, I guess, the tradition or what was like what it used to be for your dad? Like you tried something different that he wasn't like exactly supportive of? Because that wasn't something that he had available when he was younger.
Well, mainly it was like doing extracurricular activities. I used to do like, even during middle school, I used to do a lot of them. And well, right now I don't a lot, but if there's any events at school, I always try to participate. He doesn't like that because he doesn't like me staying after school.
Okay.
But
Bless you.
I always tell him like it's school activity, and well, I'm gonna stay because it's for school, and I'd rather stay and use these events to like get experience with these type of things, because it also helps me communicate with people better. And as I said before, I'm very awkward trying to start conversations. I'm very bad at it, and y'all never noticed. So I try to like use those events to actually talk to people and dang.
I will say, Jose, like, I know it's hard to talk to someone about education when they themselves don't have enough education. Because I bump heads with my parents because they didn't even, like, graduate respectfully. They didn't graduate high school. And so when I'm sitting here telling them about dual credit, these honor societies, doing stuff, it's like they see it as an excuse to not be home. Yeah. And they see it as, like, you're trying to go do this and this and this. But it's like if I could take you with me and you can see how boring it is, maybe you'd be like, she's not doing something bad. Like, maybe she actually wants an education. So it's kind of hard. It's like you're breaking the norm. You're breaking something that they're so used to.
Perfect.
And it's so hard to try to overcome that because sometimes it'll just never change. Unless they experience them themselves. And even then, they might not change.
Yeah. My dad doesn't really attend the events, as I said before. So I can't really prove anything to him. But the few times he has like visited like one event, he got there when it already ended, but I still used that time to like at least show him what I was doing. It was one of those academic things. What's it called? Academic fairs. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like my dad was supposed to go. He didn't. My aunt actually went for me instead. And well, in the end, I told my dad if he could pick me up because I told my aunt she could go. Like I'd ask my dad to pick me up. That way I could at least show him what I was doing.
Smart move.
Yeah. So my dad got there and I was like, well,
you're here.
Yeah, you might as well come in. So he came in. He had his dirty work clothes on because he like went out of town to fix something for someone. So when he came back, he like came to pick me up. The event was over like for 15 minutes. But I told him I was gonna volunteer to clean up like all of the things. So I went around, I went and showed him the few boards that were still there, and I was talking about it to him, trying to like show him what I had been doing.
Give him a taste of what you do.
what I was doing in school and like why I was staying after school so much. And well, yeah, that was one of the few events. After that, I just helped clean up and like we went home, and he kind of did understand for a while, like maybe a month or two before he started going on about like not letting me stay after school as much again. Like, it was 2 months, but it was like pretty good.
So Jose, is there anything that you would like to tell the audience that are listening to this podcast? Is there anything you'd like to tell them about or give them advice about concerning this subject and your experiences?
Well, one of them would be not to hold any resentment towards your parents. Mainly if you're like you and or your siblings are like the oldest, because they're still learning how to like take care of you, and it's hard for them as it is for you. So, and well, try to keep a good relationship with your family. It really does help. And well, just to keep it short, like try to like mend it before it's fully broken.
Try to fix something that couldn't put you.
That's
some good advice. That's a strong mentality right there.
Well, thank you so much, Jose. Thank you for joining us on episode 1, part 2 of Perfection is Fake podcast.
Bye.
You forgot to wave.
Oh.